Stacey did a review of All About Reading last year, and she finally convinced me to try it this year. What did I think about All About Reading? Stay tuned to find out. So far, I have only used level 1, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on talking about in this video, and I will be doing a flip through in just a bit. All About Reading is a really popular reading curriculum that consists of multiple materials to teach kids basic phonics concepts. It consists of a teacher's manual, an activity book, readers, flashcards, and letter tiles. Considering that there are so many elements to this curriculum, it only cost just over $200 for all of the materials for both of my school-aged children. So I would say that's actually pretty affordable as far as complete phonics curriculums go. Now here I want to speak briefly about how you can save money doubling up on items if you have multiple kids that you are teaching. For example, I only bought 2 of the activity book, and I also bought 2 of the stickers, but I don't even really use them, so I don't count that. So for everything else, I only bought 1. So that's the teacher's manual, the readers, the flashcards, all of that you do not need to buy 2 of, in my opinion. The website didn't make it super clear to me. The way that things were bundled on there wasn't really the cheapest way to buy them. So I'm going to try to include some sort of screenshot here so that you can see exactly what I bought because I was purchasing for 2 kids, and I'm sure there are a lot of other parents that are in the same boat, just trying to save money and figuring out what they actually need to buy with this curriculum. For example, the website suggested that I buy 2 sets of the reading flashcards, which in my opinion, I just need 1. My kids can share it. They're at about the same level anyway, and I just don't see why I would need to buy 2 of those. Just without getting too complicated, there's a bit more I could say about saving money buying directly from their website as far as bundling items go. So if you have more questions about that, just leave a comment below and I'll be happy to help. Once I ordered it, it finally got shipped to my house and I was able to hold it in my hands. So what did I think? So right off the bat, I do want to say I can completely see why people have fallen in love with this curriculum. It is great for struggling readers. It's great for reluctant, hesitant readers. It's great for parents who just want something that's open and go, that tells them exactly what they need to do when it comes to reading lessons. I've used Hooked on Phonics, I've used Bob books, I've watched leapfrog videos with my kids, I still use Explode the Code, but none of those on their own were enough to really get my kids really excited about reading. And that's what All About Reading has done for us. It has gotten my kids so excited about reading. They love the readers. They love some of the activity book games. I'll get into that in a little bit. But just the little reading books themselves, my kids love them. And I do still use Bob books and Explode the Code in tandem with this curriculum, and it seems to work really well to reinforce concepts that All About Reading is teaching them. All of that being said, I don't use the curriculum quite the way that maybe most people use it or how the teacher's manual says to use it. One thing that I think appeals to a lot of new homeschoolers is that the teacher's manual literally comes with a script on how you can explain phonics concepts to your kids. So if you have no idea how to teach reading, which is probably most of us, then that can be really comforting to use for your kids. However, I hardly use the teacher's manual. I don't really use the flashcards, the letter tiles, or even really the activity book. So you might be wondering to yourself, what does Jenny use in this curriculum? I primarily just use the readers because, like I said before, my kids just love them. They're excited for the next story, and I found that the stories really build gradually in difficulty level, introducing new concepts that they might not have been exposed to yet. Even if I'm not following the exact teacher's manual script or lesson plan, I find that my kids are still able to overcome those new reading obstacles and challenges just based on how the readers progress. And I do have to say that the activity book does sometimes come in handy, especially with my 5-year-old who's my younger reader. Sometimes I'll be working on a more difficult concept with my older daughter, and the activity book for my younger daughter just helps introduce or reinforce concepts. So I found that works especially well for the younger kids. A lot of them are also really tactile activities, which include using scissors and gluing items. It makes it a little bit more fun than just opening a book. It kind of adds a new element to it that reinforces the concepts. However, I found that some of the activities are just kind of pointless. I skip a lot of them. Some of them don't seem really reading oriented to me. Maybe they're a little bit more comprehension oriented, but I use narration in order to teach that, so I don't really need an activity book to do that for me. Hashtag Charlotte Mason! So that's just my take on the activity book. It's, to me, kind of not worth it, but if you're gonna use all the activities, then definitely it will be a great investment. Now I'm going to do just a quick flip through of some of these level 1 books, the teacher's manual, the activity book, and some of the readers, just to give you an idea as to like what to expect if you were to receive this curriculum. So here is book 1 of the readers. There are 3 total for level 1, and this is Run Bug Run, and you can see it's level or volume 1 because it says here. So this is the first book that the kids start out with. So I'll just show you a few examples of these early stories that the kids start to read. So look, really short sentences, you know, just consonant and vowel consonants. Yeah. A little bit later in the book, there are slightly longer words, longer sentences. The books kind of progress as far as the length of the stories. My older daughter got through this book pretty quickly just because when we started this curriculum, she already had a pretty good base knowledge of reading. But, you know, here it gets into the blends, the TH, CH, SH sounds. So that is a little sample of what is in book 1 of the readers of level 1 of All About Reading. Next, I want to show you a sample of the activity book. Now this one is the one that belongs to my younger daughter. Like I said, she's the one that actually kind of uses this a little bit more than my older daughter because she's really into the using scissors and cutting and pasting. So there might be some pages missing because you rip them straight out of here. It's really nice because the pages are perforated. So another thing that I didn't mention in the video when I was talking about this curriculum is this is really in tandem with the teacher's manual. So it tells you exactly what to do with something like this. If I'm just looking at it, I don't really know. But in the teacher's manual, it explains what to do. Also in the activity books, it shows warm-up sheets, and the kids are supposed to use this before they dive into the readers, just to give them a little bit of review and maybe introduce a new concept to them, reinforce that new concept so that when they get to the reader, they are feeling fully confident. So like this is a cutting paste activity. I believe with this one, they put the items in order of how they happened in the book. So these are really fun too. You kind of cut them out and staple them together and create new words, and your children learn how to put those new blends together. So that's just a quick example of some of the activities in here. Like I said, I don't use this a ton, but my younger daughter does like some of the more tactile activities. Now I'm going to show you just a few little examples in the level 1 teacher's manual. And I want to specifically show you some of the script things that the curriculum, you know, shows you to use so that you kind of know what you are talking about in case you're totally in the dark. So it says, teach new letter sounds. Hold up the phonogram card for the letter N. This letter says N. Now it's your turn. What does this letter say? Student says N. I mean, it's literally a script. So if you have no idea what you're doing, this is a really great way to become comfortable teaching reading. Yeah, so it just shows the first several chapters just introduce new letter sounds. Later on, you get more into the blends. I'm trying to find an example, but I mean, here, look, consonant team SH. So this really reinforces the SH sound. So I've found that with teaching multiple kids, I kind of have to have multiple bookmarks in here just to track where we're at. In here, it aligns with where they should be in the readers and in the activity book. So yeah, my kids are at 2 different levels, so I have multiple bookmarks in here. But it is very helpful for people new to teaching reading, and I think it's super complete. I mean, everything you need to know is in here. So to sum it all up, I highly recommend this curriculum to really anyone that's looking for a new reading curriculum, because I know what a struggle it is to find a really good one. And what I like about All About Reading is that you can really mold it to fit whatever your teaching style is or whatever your children's needs are. Some kids probably love the letter tiles and the flashcards, but I felt personally like it kind of bogged us down a little bit. Some kids might be a little more hesitant to read the reading books, and so the activity book might come more in handy for you. Like I said, it really can be molded to however you want to use it because there's just so much there to use. I plan on continuing with All About Reading until maybe through level 2 because I know there are a lot more important concepts that get introduced in that level, but honestly after that I'm not quite sure what my plan is because I feel like at that point my kids would just be able to pick up books off of my very well curated bookshelf and be able to just read and learn more reading skills kind of independently. Hashtag Charlotte Mason! And for level 2 I would probably only purchase the readers and maybe the activity book. So that kind of shows where I'm at with this curriculum. Like I said, it really helps, but it's also just, I don't think that all of the extra supplies and materials are necessary for every single family. I think that All About Reading is a really great reading curriculum, especially for reluctant and hesitant readers. It's great for families that are new to homeschooling, and I think it's just great the way that you can mold it to fit what your family needs, even if it does seem a little complicated at first. Don't be afraid to make All About Reading work for you. How old were your kids when they learned to read? Or are they still working on this skill? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos just like this one. See you next time!